think I did it. I'll tell you, it wasn't easy. Good evening. That's my impersonation of the beginning of the Alfred Hitchcock series, where it's supposed to be scary, but it's not really that scary. It's just normal people involved in dramas that kill each other, like for money mostly. But good evening and welcome to the uh, October scary edition of streaming live from my living room, making Tuesdays suck less on Wednesday. The amazing Mrs. Comic is in the house hanging with you folks in chat, and I've decided this year, as you can see, as other years, that I don't go outside enough to put my outside decorations outside, so I have more fun putting them in. Caesar, the Halloween cat, was extremely helpful, and if he makes an appearance in the show tonight, it'll be fun for you and quite possibly scare the shit out of me. Last night, I was excited to present this show that I have tonight, which I'm no longer excited to present because I had it all planned and I was all ready. And then my Streamlabs streaming software was loading in and it said update, and it said what the update number was, and it went, oh, something went wrong. Please try a new installer. I actually don't really know what the fuck that means. So I panicked. I tried for 15, 20 minutes, every which way but loose. And I decided to pull the plug on it because I didn't want to be all fucking mad and stressed out, which seems like it carried over a little bit into tonight. So that was actually a good call because this is way less of a pissed off me than it was last night. A pissed off me. Basically, I, I, I dodged a tremendous horror show by figuring something out that wasn't in the Google help. I had to remove my old Streamlabs. Remember the one that's the one we set up here where Bourbon Balls was created. Richter was probably in the house. Bourbon Balls. I tried to stream all night long in the frame and it didn't fucking work. And then I said bye bye and then it worked and then we went live again, except we couldn't get my head in the frame. And then I started seeing the delay on the computer with the frame and the bourbon, and then I thought I had picked it up because I saw in there that I had already picked it up and set it down, but apparently the one that was in there was a little ahead of me and I spilled some bourbon on my balls, hence the birth of Bourbon Balls. So it was stressful. I was very disappointed. I had a theme going on here is that um, and the theme was based on actual stuff on TV. Of course, why not? HBO Max or whatever the hell it's called. Most terrifying places in America. I think that's what it is. I love these things, and then I start to go fucking nuts from them because Mrs. Comic and I can easily ghost bust these things. But I'm going to track through a few of these tonight, and also I wanted to do the whole month of October to scare the fuck out of you. I didn't do dick. I scared the fuck out of you last night by not streaming because I know some of you really look forward to this, as do we. That's not really the kind of scare that we were going for. So also we do Halloween scare, horror, reading, and watching through October and through November. So since I got a late jump here on all of this shit, uh, I'm just gonna try to scare the fuck out of us. I think until it's time to talk about like uh, Thanksgiving and Christmas, which is horror on its own account if you think about it. So the shows are kind of fun. This terrifying places in America. They go to places, and it's basically a house that's haunted, a prison that's haunted, a mental institution slash asylum that's haunted, or somebody built mini golf over an Indian Native American burial ground, and they said they'd move the bodies, wink, wink, but they're too fucking cheap, and so they built the miniature golf over the cemeteries of the Native Americans, and of course, bad shit's gonna happen. I don't know anywhere in literature, history of Native Americans that they had a passion for having people play recreational golf on their burial ground. So you're kind of just begging for it right there. Uh, so now let's go for one of the first ones here. Portland, Oregon, Shanghai tunnels. That's what it was. Shanghai tunnels. This was kind of crazy and also amazing. So what they did was um, they had like an underground railroad system to kidnap people to get them to work for shitty money in like coal mining or prostitution or I guess whatever the fuck they'd want them to do. Work on ships. That was it. Mrs. Comic chimed in here. They would just take you and you'd fall through a trap door, and next thing you know, you'd be working for ship money on a ship, and then with no consideration if like you needed Dramamine or if you got seasick or any of that shit. You just go. So there's an actual saloon uh, connected to this thing, and apparently there was like a trap door that whoever they were going to recruit to get sucked into this thing, they'd have to get them drunk on the trap door, and when they believe they were sufficiently drunk, they pull the handle, down they go, and there's no surprise that ghosts would haunt a bar that fucked up like bourbon balls. You're really fucking with sacred shit. You might as well go if you're gonna go and take people. Take them from something that's shitty in their life. They're partying and having fun. Then you're gonna fuck them up the ass in a bucket of goo while they're having fun. Go. There must be miserable people somewhere. If you're gonna go do this, go and fucking do this. And then they all say this. They mostly all turn into resorts where you can book a fun weekend there to see the ghost to scare the fuck out of you. And there's always reports of people walking around and going, uh, I had a presence, I had a feeling that these spirits did not want us there. No fucking shit, they don't want you there. What do you think? They're just waiting around, haunting places, waiting for company? Fuck no, they don't. You're not welcome there. But I reject the idea that these ghosts of these haunted places are all evil, horrible pieces of shit. Because if you were that horrible and you just wanted to scare the fuck out of people, also that's why ghosts scare. It's fun to scare the fuck out of people. Let's make no mistake about that. So some of this could be fun for the ghost, but also Mrs. Comic pointed out that see, I believe there's a spirit where you I can't even talk spirit world that watches over us, but I believe they're also helpful. So there's Mrs. Comic, who always sees the good in everything, presented the idea that the ghosts at these haunted attractions might be screaming at people to get the fuck out because it's not safe there. Like there's ghosts here, you stupid fuck. Get out, get out, get out. There's ghosts, and some of us died before there was medical marijuana and Xanax, and we're still got some fucking issues. Also, there's safety concerns. A ghost could be yelling at you to get the fuck out of a haunted house because there's a big hole in the fucking floorboard going up the steps, and they're actually trying to save you from joining them in this eternal hell of bad, poorly repaired steps. And also, um, there could be fire hazards. There could be all kinds of shit. There could be a rat going around somewhere. It could smell like death fucking warmed over in the basement, and it could actually be that person who's the ghost of the smell warning you, get the fuck out of here. It's like one of those horrible farts that even the person who left it couldn't stand. Usually we can stand our own farts, but occasionally we blow off a fart that's so fucking horrible, even we gotta run and escape it. It could be a ghost telling you the smell of me down there is fucking horrible, and I renounce that smell because I didn't fucking smell like that when I was alive. Death gave me that horrible smell, and they don't really have like a Gillette underarm thing for ghosts to smell better than they would have normally 200 years later. So there's a lot of shit going on there. So the Shanghai uh, targeted these saloons, and they're all still open. That's the fun thing. You can book fun weekends to go see these ghosts all over the country, and I think that's where a lot of people see these things. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm sure there's some weird shit going on there. If you go into a mental institution where 3,000 people had the fucking shit tortured out of them, eyes cut out, and all kinds of electroshock treatment, and if you did not sage, there's probably some evil crumbs floating around like they're in The Shining, like they tell you about. So it's so funny. When we watch scary shit, typically I'm in charge of saying stupid shit to make us laugh. But Mrs. Comic picked up on this. It says people were going down in this basement at the Shanghai Saloon, and they all reported mysterious wind chimes in the basement that shouldn't happen because there shouldn't be any wind down there. We're like, well, yeah, well, they opened the door and left the fucking draft down there, so that might have had something to do with why. And it's also that I felt this horrible cold. Yes, again, the stairs behind us outside are really fucking cool. On the hottest day, we open it up for fucking cats and try to lure them to go a couple steps down. So yes, it is cool in the basement anywhere, cooler than upstairs, and there's a draft because you fucking opened the fucking door, you motherfuckers, for crying out loud. The ghosts must be laughing their asses off. Plus, also, I'm a firm believer that if ghosts are floating around, when the ghost teams come in to film them, they're like, I'm I don't even like you. If you brought in a team of people that the ghost like, they might say, fuck it. These people are rock star, man. They're bringing a team. There's Amish Comic and Mrs. Comic and a whole team, Clee's sister and Richter. They're all coming in. These are great people. Let's make ourselves known so they can have a very successful ghost show. But if it's two fucking knuckleheads walking around going, you better make yourself known or that's it. What do you mean that's it? What the fuck are you going to do? Just because, yeah, I don't believe you can yell at ghosts. I think you have to reason with them. So we're watching that, and that was all kinds of good fun. And then there was whistling going on. Um, they name these ghosts, and when you go to stay at these places, they can't promise you what room the ghost is in. So that's a disclaimer right there. Uh, here's another great one that I liked. I'm not even sure where the hell it was from. I made terrible notes. There was a haunted tattoo parlor, and that was it. Just wait for it. Why would a tattoo parlor be haunted? I will tell you why. If you took Chicago's first funeral home, complete with embalming capabilities, and turn that into a tattoo parlor, yes, I think there's margin for some fucking horrible prints of tattoos to go on your ass there. Uh, read. You got to read the room when you go shopping for a tattoo. That's for sure. Uh, Fun, crazy shit. Mrs. Comic pointed this out to me. I forgot about this. Uh, I feel like I just traveled back to the Salem witch trials here. In this town where I live, within a half a block, Mrs. Comic and I. Well, you can't have it done now, but there was a building right up on the street on Main Street there, uh, where there was bloodletting, and it's a very nice building, and I guess you would have to have a kind of a nice building if you were going to convince people to just let blood. I don't even know what bloodletting is. I think you just they just tap you. They put a hole in you, and by that stretch of the imagination, accidentally Caesar bloodlets me a couple times a week if we are wrestling too much and I don't have his nails trimmed. But whoever thought up the idea that you could become healthier by cutting yourself and letting blood out, or sticking yourself and letting blood out. That's the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard. For fuck's sake, yeah, you might as well have a health and fitness area called ball kicking. We come in here, we kick you in the fucking nuts, and it'll hurt right away, but later on you should be cured. You will be cured because your nuts will hurt so fucking bad you'll forget about your fucking headache. So there's something to be said about bloodletting as far as making you not worry so much about your sore toe. Oh, my toe doesn't feel bad at all now that there's blood gushing out of my arm. Fuck me in a bucket of goo. Now, here we go. Moving on. Let's see. Oh, and they also in these shows, I'm nitpicking, but I'm allowed to because that's what I do. there was a mask on the wall, and the guy said the mask jumped. The mask don't have fucking legs. The mask might have done something else. The draft might have knocked it off. Something might have happened, but the mask did not jump. That implies that the mask quickly grew legs and fucking leaped off the thing. Nitpicking again, but I believe that I'm entitled because also I believe there's some serious editing going on before this stuff makes it to my television screen. So let's see here. Now that's too horrible. I made a note here about one thing that's too horrible to do, and then after last night and everything fucked up, I thought, ah, fuck it. I rethought that, and the thing that's too horrible to do is now okay based on a horrible thing that happened to me. That's how much of a dick I am. So here's another good one here. In Kentucky, Bobby Mackey's Honky Tonk. Now this was kind of a great place. It was a honky tonk bar where they said all these famous acts went through there, but also there were two women of color who who bought the building somehow. I don't know how they got money. We were going back to the 1800s, and upstairs they had a hair salon and they cut hair, which turned out to be a front for prostitution. So you go up to have your hair done, and you could have some action up there, and then there was liquor down there, and I forgot to write down the scary part of that because right now that just seems like just a wild road trip right there. Oh, I know why this place got haunted is because again, there's no politics in my show, but I do ramble on about the abortion stuff is bullshit. That nobody should tell a woman what to do. That's her decision to make. And back in these days, apparently this bar was famous for if somebody got knocked up, their boyfriend or husband or person who's married to someone else and didn't want their wife to know they knocked this girl up, brought them to this fucking bar for uh, uh, Sweeney Todd abortions in the fucking basement, and they never fucking worked. One of the things they used was like dentist tools. Ladies, I'm here to tell you, if somebody's trying to give you an abortion with dentist tools in the basement of a bar, you really need to spring for better healthcare programs. So that shit happened down there a lot, and I think that's where all the ghosts and ghouls came to haunt this place. Uh, so the Bob Mackey's Honky Tonk. I think you can still go there to dance and get liquored up. I strongly suggest not getting your hair done or getting an abortion in the basement. There's travel tips. You can still take these trips if you want to. Let's see here. Let's see. But I got ahead of myself. I already complained about this. They always make guesses as to specifically why the ghosts are there haunting you. I already gave you my opinions. They're like, they're either having fun, that scare the fuck out of people, or something really fucking horrible's there, and they're like, just whoever comes, we're actually like Casper the Friendly Ghost, but if we do that, you'll laugh and you won't leave. So we actually have to go all Beetlejuice on you, scare the fuck out of you, so you get out of here, so you don't fall through the bad steps and smack your head on the dead rat down there. And I actually do think they're trying to help us out a little bit. So now, oh, here we go, some more. Let's see there. You know what I'm on my notes here is that I write that exact same thing too many times, thinking that if I get lost, I'll find it, and that's exactly what happened. But it backfired tonight because I found the thing before I read it, and I got 2 pages of the thing I already said. That's spooky, only in my own head because I got to pound out my own thoughts. So now also we're getting to some of my horror picks. I'm going to blitz you horror picks. It was going to be like a film of the week, but since I just decided to start doing this on fucking Halloween Eve, just about, we're way behind that. I have ones. It's fun to find new stuff, but excuse me, I have ones that I like to rewatch every year, every other year. One of my all-time favorites is, where the hell is it? Not that. Is that it? There it is, Stephen King's Rose Red. I love this. A lot of the Stephen King made for TV stuff sucks batshit balls. This is actually really a great watch. And special shout out to Richter. Richter, we're counting on you having seen Twin Peaks season 3. And if you have, there's a scene where there was hell breaking loose outside, and he ran outside, and there's crazy old lady in his car screaming, "We're late. We've got miles to go." She's really fucking nuts. She's in this movie. That's fantastic. And also, someone else that we love from a comedy film, the Guffman films are really amazing. Waiting for Guffman. It's a musical spoof, and a mechanic who gets sucked into being in a musical, and that is in this. That is absolutely a great watch, and it most definitely has something to do with most haunted places. That is the Winchester House, Rose Red. The Stephen King story is actually based on a real property, Winchester House, Rose Red. I wrote the location's too small now, and in this poor lighting, I can't tell you exactly where it is. Well, that's in San Jose, California, and apparently the the lady, it was actually the Winchester rifle people, and there was some weird shit happened there, and the guy died and left the whole house to his wife, and there was some terrible, when they were building this house, I think there was some terrible, horrible shit happening to the people who tried to build it, and there's some sort of crazy legend about the key to keeping these ghosts and ghouls happy in the Winchester house is to never actually complete the home. So the home was actually, so they say, designed by actual ghosts and this lady, and there's steps that go into ceilings. There's rooms with nothing in them. There's other doors that open up, and it's a big drop. There's crazy shit where the house seems like it turns, and you can't get back where you were the same way you went. Not unlike driving in Boston, you can't go back in Boston the same way you went there, and that's absolutely fascinating. So you can go there and have the shit scared out of you, but you could also watch Rose Red and save yourself a trip to San Jose. Um, but they had blueprints from ghosts and all kind of shit. Uh, Ridiculous stuff in this house. 47 fireplaces, hidden rooms, doors that open to 10 feet, drops, all this kind of fun shit. Uh, there is a 47 step staircase that only raises you up like 9 feet. That would really piss me the fuck off. 47 steps is a lot. The average flight of stairs up to go make a wee wee, it's higher than 9 feet, and it's about 13 to 15 steps. So that's 3 flights of steps to get up one fucking flight. I'd be really fucking mad if I had to make a wee wee and I went up fucking 47 steps to get up 9 feet. Fucking A right, I'd be pissed off about everything. So we have that. They got ghosts in the kitchen. I don't remember why. Like I said, this was a much better show last night before everything went wrong and I got really fucking pissed off. Here's fun stuff too. Next location is West Milford, New Jersey. See, that's stone's throw from here. I actually like when there's crazy hell and horror that we could go visit. So that's fun stuff there. And they have, let's see, Clinton Road in West Milford. It's really dark, and it's not like dark roads in town. That doesn't scare me at all, because when I drive around and do shows and I get off the beaten path, I am on dark roads with no fucking street lighting. Apparently, the world isn't really used to that, and there is such road in New Jersey where it's just dark and there's no fucking lights. And yes, that is fucking scary. I'll tell you that it is. I was walking down a dark road a couple of weeks ago while waiting for the AAA guy, and I had to make a left turn to get back to Mrs. Comic at the cat sitting house, and I fucking missed it because it was that dark. I didn't feel like using my phone to walk up the street to make the turn because it was so dark because I looked like an asshole. Turns out I looked like a bigger asshole missing the fucking turn. So dark, dark, dark is really fucking dark, dark, dark. Years ago, a friend of mine, Jim Mendrinos, brilliant comedian, did a show with me at Penn's Peak, and I had a fire hall show coming up in November in East Greenville, and the East Greenville guy was there, and he fucking begged Mendrinos to come on this fire hall show for shit money, which he did. I don't know why he did it. It was November, and he came in, and it was cold, and his arms were like this, like he had arthritis. I'm like, Jim, you frozen to the bone. Why didn't you put on a fucking shirt? He goes, it's not cold. I'm scared. I never drove in complete darkness before. And animals ran across the road. I said, oh, you must have come in by the trailer park. He goes, I missed the fucking trailer park, so dark roads are fucking scary. It's really scary. And this part of New Jersey is kind of like the Poconos. You're up around the Gap, and it flips over to New Jersey. It's basically like Pennsylvania if right there, Pennsylvania and New Jersey had like a civil war, and they argued over when, like, Pennsylvania said, we think it's fine to sit on wooden barrels and drink bourbon in our yards, and New Jersey said, well, we're dignified, and we would rather sit in like a wicker chair and on our porch. So it's the woods, it's right there, and you don't really associate that with New Jersey. So I think that's why the New Jersey woods are a little scarier than Pennsylvania because they're fucking spoiled and they're not used to it. Get used to it. So on this road, um, they reported all this weird shit, satanic cults in the woods, bonfires. Oh, fucking bonfires. Welcome to fucking Pennsylvania. You can't burn everywhere, but if you drive 10, 15 minutes this way or that, you can burn. And there are bonfires, and they're a lot of fun until you trip on a rock and fall in there with your bourbon. But yes, bonfires, that's scary. Uh, this place also claims to have the original Dead Man's Curve, which basically we've all named every curve that we've ever gone around that's like a horseshoe, Dead Man's Curve, but they claim theirs is the one. Let's see here, and then they have reports of a phantom truck chasing people all around. That's kind of like Large Marge and Pee Wee Herman or the movie Duel. So they're really uh, finding out shit that's in our culture already. So I don't know how much of this stuff. I mean, a truck driving around, for fuck's sake. I think most trucks aren't really that comfortable to drive, and if you're a ghost, you probably wouldn't want to drive a truck. You might want to fly around on like a more comfortable couch. That would be more believable to me. Um, and they always have these peckerheads on TV when they're interviewing me. I don't normally believe in this kind of thing, and then I chime in, yeah, but you saw an opportunity to get on fucking television. So fuck it, I'll believe it if I can get my ass on TV. So now we're moving right along here. Haunted road trips. They actually have you can hip hop from one to the next, and again, a lot of it was in the South. Memphis. Let's see, it's called Ernstie's and Hazel's Honky Tonk Club. Oh, that's the one. That's the one with the beauty parlor upstairs. Blues and brothels. How they promote. See, I have too many fucking notes. I had notes for this over there. I have notes for this over here. But this is important because I actually in those other notes I forgot this shit to tell you. Blues and brothel. That's the phrase that pays right there. So they reopened it, and that's another theme of these places is that. Oh, here's another one. They said on the jukebox, songs play that aren't on the jukebox. Yes, because a dumb, lazy ass like me, employee, just changed the fucking records and didn't feel like changing all the fucking name tags. So yeah, there's probably songs on the jukebox that don't come up on the thing right there. So that didn't surprise me at all. And the other theme of a lot of these places is the place was something horrible, nobody knew about it, and then they built something fun on it, and then the ghosts from the horrible thing came and fucking just destroyed everything, and so they had to shut down, and then somebody waits 10, 15, 20 years, and they reopen it. Well, guess what? The ghosts are still fucking there. They got nothing to do. 10, 15, 20 years to a ghost in the basement waiting for some dumbasses to buy the place and open up a beauty salon on the top. It's fucking well worth the wait in consideration of eternity. So I would say if you're going to buy a place like that, that was haunted with ghosts, try to wait like an eternity at least to see if the ghosts get bored and move onward. So see here, well, we're moving on to this one right here. Uh, oh, I like this one. Uh, Now we're going to Mississippi. Old man Stucky walked across this bridge, and the bridge is abandoned. And rumor has it that he ran like an inn or a bar, and he couldn't get business, so he'd walk. This ghost would walk across with his lantern and lure people over to his inn or saloon. But mostly, people never made it across that bridge. That is a very interesting theory for a ghost. But if he actually wanted to lure people to his place of business, I think it's a stupid move to kill them on the fucking bridge before they get there and he has his credit card or they leave a cash deposit. If there was a ghost killing bridge after to leave, but that wouldn't make any sense either. So old man Stucky, he was in there. You can go. I think you can still go to that place, and the bridge was closed down, and they tried to open it up. More ghosts every which way but loose. Civil War locations. There's Savannah, Georgia. Savannah, Georgia is supposed to be the most haunted place in the country because of Civil War hospitals and shit. Now, here's some fun for you. And the Civil War hospitals, the word hospital just meant a room where we would take people that were hurt in the war. So if people come in here with one leg, one arm, one eye, or they'd have to have an amputation, they didn't really have doctors uh, that were trained in this, but they had doctors who said they were doctors who had a saw. So there was a lot of tying people's legs up and sawing their leg off and are fucking screaming bloody murder. And yes, I believe if you don't sage, there could be some horrible crumbs left there for you. That's another place down there that where it shuts down and then it reopens, and then the people who reopen go, well, we really didn't think the ghosts would be here now when we reopened for the grand opening, but we're fucked up right there. And Richter, again, this is a Twin Peaks shout out down there. It's the Marshall House where they have a lot of amputations, and the one armor Henry's down there. One arm Henry's walking around haunting that place, supposedly looking for his arm. That's a place where they know exactly where his arm should be. Room 414. So if you want to have fun, you can go down and visit room 414 and look for Henry, the one armor, not the one from Twin Peaks, but the one down there, and at Marshall's house of amputations. I don't know if it's called that anymore as a resort. It'd be a good name though. Let's see here. Now we're moving right along to. Oh, this is also another one. The state park in Tucker, California. I can't read my own fucking writing. It's the cannibals from the Donner Memorial. The dumbasses that were going to California by wagon train, and some asshole guy knew of a shortcut, which turned out to be 6 months later. So the winter came and they had to eat each other. I guess they had no choice. So the Donner Party is there. Somebody made it through there, and there's apparently a girl who haunts those woods who's still in there, and she did not make it. Why, that's not funny to me, but it is funny now because Mrs. Comic and I are brushing up on our German with the Duolingo app, and the Donner kebab. The Donner is a food, it's part of our lesson. The Donner. We're like, why the fuck would they call like a Donner kebab? Why would you have a cannibal kebab as your thing? But we didn't get that far in the German lessons yet. So when we decode why Germans and Europe, it's in Ted Lasso too, the Donner kebab is a big thing. With no consideration of it being a cannibal thing for us. So bear that in mind when you travel. If they offer you a Donner kebab, it's probably not a cannibal thing, but I would double check the fine print before you get there. Let's see here. Now there's a haunted bridge in, that looks like it is in Florida, Interstate 4. It's called the I-4 Dead Zone. And it's just a small stretch of this bridge where apparently all this horrible shit happened. And they warn you, if you drive on this bridge, when you go on this stretch of the bridge, you're not supposed to have your cell phone's working or nothing. You're just supposed to focus and make it through. And apparently, that's another deal where there were lots of bodies on the property buried before the bridge, and the condition to make the bridge was they'd have to relocate the bodies. Apparently, it was a thing to just agree you were going to relocate the bodies and then just move the headstones and say, fuck it. What could bad happen if we just don't move the bodies? Well, I think a haunted bridge of fucking 2,000 people died on this thing already in this 1/4 mile stretch. I think that qualifies as what could happen if you don't move the bodies. Err on the side of moving the bodies. If you don't know how to move bodies, get some help. Don't post in Facebook, for fuck's sake. They've got hitchhikers vanishing there. They've got uh, trucks exploding and flipping off the side. One lady said that when she drives it, she hears a voice telling her to drive off the bridge, and she said, I try not to do what it says. Well, apparently, she's good at not doing what it says, or she wouldn't have been in a fucking TV show. So that's another thing to look out for when you're on I-4 Dead Zone down. I think that's in Florida. I don't know if I got the states wrong. Fuck it. This isn't really like a. It's not American History Channel, wherever the fuck it is here. Let's see. Now we're moving right along here. Oh, here's one. Here's one. I like all the most horrible ones. Uh, Arkansas, the Ozark Mountains. It's called the Crescent Hotel. In 1886, it was a resort for the rich and famous. And the Depression closed it. Apparently, when there was a depression, there was no more rich and famous people. So it had to shut down. Um, and then it reopened. A fella, Norman Baker, reopened this thing. He was a quack doctor with miracle cures, and he claimed he could cure cancer if you came to this resort. And he wasn't even really a doctor. And people who had cancer and shit, if you got a thing in the mail that says you can have your cancer cured by surgeon Norman Bate Baker. Norman Bates. That's like Norman Bates. That should have been a fucking clue for him right there. Uh, he he performed unnecessary surgeries on body parts that weren't affected by cancer. And here's a shocker for you: he never cured any cancer at all. But I think he had a lot of requests for pissed off people who want refunds that came to this thing. Miracle cures. They had him. He injected him with weird shit that he didn't know what it was. Uh, Sawed off shit. No anesthesia. I would say once again, I don't think places can possibly be possessed, but there could be some evil, pissed off crumbs laying around where you need to sage it or something else has to happen. They had a honeymoon suite up there. That's where all the fucking shit went down. That's where they chopped people up and all that. So I mean, I don't think a place is possessed. And I didn't write this other place down, but again, it was a haunted mansion, and they were restoring it, and they already got spooked out by the stories of the thing. This place wasn't haunted, it was supposed to be possessed by fucking demons, and if you went in there, you too would be possessed by demons. And this one young guy, he was like OCDing on a ladder in an attic, spackling and screaming that the ghosts were coming to get him. They were possessing his soul, and I believe actually he was just complaining because spackling is that fucking horrible. Nobody wants to fucking spackle, and nobody wants to fucking spackle in a fucking haunted house in an attic by yourself where there's no music in there, no fucking nothing. And of course, he cried to his other partner, and his partner would come out. I didn't fucking see anything. I believe he just wanted help spackling, because when you paint, the spackling is the least exciting part or whatever the fuck it is that you're doing. So, possessed by demons, no. Fucker really hated spackling and would do anything to get out of it. Yes, he fucking boom roasted that motherfucker. Let's see here. Here's another fun one. I gotta learn to make better notes. Port City in New Orleans is home to the first ever pharmacy, right? That's what they say right here. Uh, the the wet death. I don't even know why I wrote that. That's a great phrase. The wet death. That can't be the name of the pharmacy.
No.
I mean, like when I get prescriptions, I just like write it in a mail. It says, "What's your pharmacy?" My pharmacy is Wet Death in New Orleans. That should be a clue. Again, if you're getting a prescription anywhere and your pharmacy is named Wet Death, you might want to check out Rite Aid or one of those places right there. They had they had at this pharmacy what they referred to as drastic medicine. Again, bloodletting, dumbest fucking thing. You know, I got a headache, can't sleep. Let's tap a little blood out of your skull, and that should put you to sleep. Probably true. It's probably true. Oh, I know what I missed here on a lot of these stuff, the quack cures. It was during the time when yellow fever broke out and people were fucking uh, panicking, black vomit and all this fun shit. So if you're black vomiting and the wet death pharmacy says we can fix you up, sure, fuck it, you do it, whatever it is. You know, if it's Coca-Cola syrup or whatever the hell they give you, I don't fucking know. Uh, Joseph Dupas is that's the guy. He was the psycho surgeon of that place. Also, again, a lot of apparently unnecessary operations. If you said you were a doctor pre anybody saying you really need to go to medical school and learn how to do surgery was a great way to make money. I would believe there would be other ways to scam people if you wanted to go that way without saying I can cure cancer by sawing your foot off. Because for me personally, I wouldn't really enjoy sawing someone's foot off to get their money. I would like to get their money, but the whole sawing their foot off to get the $300 or whatever, that's kind of a gray area there. And I can speak for Mrs. Comic as if we were going to do a partnership. A lot of these people had partnerships. She wouldn't want to be the one to do the sawing, and also she wouldn't really want to. She'd be like, "Well, I'm not going to do the dishes and include your bloody saws here. You're going to have to just leave the blood on or fucking dunk them in uh, Mr. Clean or whatever, but I'm not fucking doing it. Amputations with no fucking sedatives. Yes, these places are not haunted. It's just people who scream so fucking loud. That scream probably still fucking bouncing around in there and vibrating in places. Of course, there's fucking weird shit going on there. So that guy, all these places didn't stay in business, and there's no surprise there. Let's see. Here's more notes about the uh, tattoo parlor. It might be a different tattoo parlor. Let's see. And also, there's a lot of these places that are right next to cemeteries. Let's see. I got another one here.
Well, the hardware store was haunted, but that's torn down.
Yeah, that's right. While the hardware store
The
was
house.
haunted, that I worked for the lady next to the hardware store. But those ghosts really helped me. They were nice.
That's true.
I think that's a perfect example of spirits that were in there warning us to just don't fucking, you know, don't flirt with your now wife, but at the time of your girlfriend while you're using an electric hedge trimmer because you'll cut the wire and you'll have to go in and it'll be embarrassing. So I think those were friendly ghosts down there. Here's the one that I said I wasn't gonna do. Outside of Reno, Nevada, by about 4 hour drive. That's really fucking outside. I think they said 3, 4 hours. Is oh wait, my alarm's going off. That tells me I gotta take a shot of bourbon. Let's do this. All right, so now there's a clown motel. That's frightening. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. Let's see here. I've got a message coming in. This is so unprofessional. Oh boy, that's our daughter's boyfriend. Are doing some Halloween decorating and are drinking some of that good beer that I left for him. That's important that you fuckers know that. Our daughter's boyfriend, they're doing Halloween decorating, and he's enjoying a Hacker Shore right now that I left in the fridge. It's lucky I have one because I'm the kind of guy who, if I gift you my beer and I see you having, I don't have one, I lose my fucking mind. Why did I fucking give him that beer? I don't have one here. So the timing here is ridiculous. So now the Clown Motel. Here, just hang on here. Let me show you something else. Wait a minute. Oh, that's a movie I'm going to tell you about, and I'll have to get back on track here. I'm having, so I don't know, I'm having one now, but I'm also busy live streaming. Wait, not bust. Not live busting. Let's see. All right, so now I'll get back to that movie. And we go back to the Clown Motel. So unprofessional. That's why you tune in. You don't want a professional show. You want me fucking around. So the Clown Motel was a thing where if you're like me with clowns, clowns are the fucking scariest thing that there ever were. They're really fucking frightening. They're just one of the most horriblest, frightening things. And these clowns, I believe it was like near a cemetery, and a clown would walk over and walk around the motel, and scare the fuck out of people. And they thought it was like part of the thing because it's called the Clown Motel, which it was, but they didn't think they were actual clown ghosts. They just thought it was, some nitwit in a clown suit walking around scaring the fuck out of people. Uh, that's another one where you can go there and stay there, but they're not going to promise what room the clown ghost is in. So you're absolutely on your own if you want to go there to the Clown Motel. I cleverly didn't say where it is. Oh, it's Nevada. It's Tanapaha, whatever that is. Uh, Again, it was during the silver and gold rush days where a lot of people were trying. It seems like a lot of these haunted places had to do with people getting scammed in real life, and you were tricked into moving, or you were tricked into money, and then you're like, "Fuck me in a bucket of goo." There's nothing here. Yeah, I would say that's how you could start your career as a ghost. If somebody can convince you to just like walk across Pennsylvania or wagon train it and in hopes of finding gold, and you drop dead in a place where there's a cemetery, and then eventually there will be a clown motel. I would say there's a pretty good chance you probably want to haunt that. Uh, I don't have much info on it, but also you can go see the Lizzie Borden house up in Massachusetts. That's good fun. Lizzie Borden had an axe, and there's a lot of shows about whether she did it or whether she didn't do it. Um, Somebody did it, so I don't know if it was her or if she just went nuts and she didn't know. Well, I really have no desire to stay in any of these scary places because I do believe that also if you spend a lot of money to go to one of these places and you don't see that which you want to see, you'll really be fucking mad. So you will make yourself see the horrible thing, and you'll be excited for a millionth of a second, and then you'll go, fuck me, did that really happen? Did I really see that? Or did I just think that I saw that? So that's really bang for your buck as far as making yourself really fucking crazy. Uh, Another fun place you go to is uh, this is right down my alley, a cursed amusement park, Lake Shawnee Amusement Park in West Virginia. Again, they built the amusement park on a Native American burial ground, and they did not move the bodies. Everyone, if you're gonna build an amusement park on a Native American burial ground, remember to move the bodies. I'm here to tell you that I think if you move those bodies, you'd be equally as fucked. If there's an Indian burial ground, a Native American burial ground, a dumbass burial ground, I would say don't fucking build your thing there. Don't even have it. If you're at a meeting somewhere and you're talking about investing and there's conversation about should we move the bodies or not. I would say we should move the location or wherever the thing is. How fucking sweet of a piece of property is the cemetery anyway? Probably great because there's nothing there except tombstones and shit. But I would be concerned about plumbing, power lines, and all kinds of other fun shit like that. So, word to the wise: don't build your whatever it is going to be over any kind of burial site. I mean, what the fuck? Let's see. Here we go. Okay, now that's all my fun ghost shit. Uh, which again, it's fascinating because I'm on the fence here. I think when there's a place where really bad shit happened, there's definitely a vibe there that, and it's a vibe because you're aware of it. You're aware of what happened there. If you just went into a place and you didn't have the slightest idea that some horrible shit happened there, and then horrible shit happens, then maybe we're talking. But if you already know horrible shit happened there and you walk in there, your brain is going to default to horrible shit happening there. Right, buddy? This is my buddy here for tonight, Caesar. Excuse me, I had to burp, and there was no way around it. That's a horror movie right there. Now, let me get back to some of my horror movie picks here. Part of my system crash was okay, so now all these little things that I show you, right? Let's see. Okay, the slot where a picture goes in is a certain kind of thing that I have to do, and the slot where a video clip goes in, that's another kind of thing that I have to do. That all got fucked up, and all the names are wrong too. So I'm gonna have to guess, like where this movie is called "Let the Right One In." It's tagged is Caesar helping me with setup. So that goes to tell you how sharp my brain is or how bad my brain is, uh, because that was my guess. So now, let the Right One In is one of the scariest films that I've ever seen. I highly recommend it. It's really fucking scary. It is in a foreign language. Uh, do the foreign language, do the subtitles. It's scary enough that you might not actually need them. I haven't watched it yet. Mrs. Comic's worried because it could be tonight. It could fucking happen tonight that we're watching this thing. And here's a fun thing for you. Uh, Mrs. Comic imagination is so good as she sees things the way people who make them want you to see them, specific to horror. Uh, my daughter and I went up to see a a stage production of Let the Right One In quite a few years ago in Brooklyn, and I never knew about this theater. Apparently, there's a little theater on the water, and I screamed when we were going there. She was, our daughter was telling me which way to go. She said, "Just go right across the street and drive." I'm there. I don't even see a fucking road across the street. It looks like platform 7 3/4 of fucking Harry Potter, fucking brick wall. The whole neighborhood was fun and scary, but this, I'll have to figure out how to talk about in another live stream the name of this place. Apparently, this place was a warehouse for amazing avant-garde performers Philip Glass and Lou Reed and Meredith Monk and Laurie Anderson and this poster. This was a Dutch group came in and they did a play version of Let the Right One In. And when we walked in, it was fucking scary. A very small theater. And the first scene is just basically somebody who has to walk through a dark wooded area to get home from wherever they're going. That's where a lot of the horror takes place in there. And we were in there because small theater, it didn't have a sense of stage. Like the floor was there and the woods were there, and they did like it had depth. It looked like you were in the fucking woods, and there was a scene. It's vampire shit there. Spoilers. There was a scene where there was this coffin, and everybody knew there was a fucking body in this coffin. It was deep into the show. Everybody knew there was a thing in this vampire in this thing, but even if you know, you don't fucking know. And when the thing opened up, it tricked us. It didn't really open the lid that far, just a crack, and a hand came out. There was a theater held like 200 people. There was a collective gasp and scream by 200 people. I have seen a lot of fucking things in theater. I have never seen an audience as a group spooked out and so mind fucked than this thing. I've never seen it in my life. It was absolutely incredible. And also, because I'm silly and immature, it actually takes a lot to scare the fuck out of me. We both gasped and the scream fucking went, and holy fuck me in a bucket of goo. Um, so that's my pick to watch this week. I'm all out of shit. Coming in here with a bribe laid on. I appreciate that, but that's not going to make the show go longer. I'm telling you that. My bra strap's falling down here to make sure I don't have anything else to tell you about. Let's see here. I got, like I say, I got to cram in a whole bunch of movies for you to watch. Um, it's almost cliche, but I really love The Shining. That's badass. That's always on our to-do list. The Halloween movie, gotta watch it on actual Halloween. Those are absolutely a lot of fun. And I sure wish I could have done this last night.
The old Frankenstein and all the.
Oh yes, Mrs. Comic, the classic ones, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, classic. Invisible Man is fucking just ridiculously perfect. The Invisible Man is worth it just for the innkeeper lady screaming. She is the most amazing scream. So that's fantastic. And then, there's a whole bunch of. I think it's the Hammer films are fantastic. What's that other one I just popped up last night? I'm not getting up. It's way over there. I'll tell you next week. It's the collection. It's not Hammer. Castle. I think it's William Castle.
Yeah.
The Castle films are fantastic.
Tingler.
The Tingler is great. Oh, I thought I put the Tingler in here somewhere, but I don't think I'll be able to find it. Let's see there. Is the Tingler in there? Nope, that's the Northern Lights. Like I say, I'm all out of sync here with my stuff. The Tingler is a fantastic film. I don't know if you can see it, but we actually have a Tingler thing. Oh no, it's off camera. Never mind. I brought a prop about the Tingler, talk about the movie The Tingler, and I didn't show you the movie The Tingler or the prop. So there's always that next week. So that's pretty much it for this week. I am so sorry that we couldn't go last night, but even when I got things settled, I was too fucking mad. Plus, I didn't have anything prepared. The things in the wrong slots. So we love you. Thanks for tuning in, and we're gonna rock horror, Halloween horror, October horror into November because I got a late jump. Fuck that. I will not be cheated for Halloween decorations. And you see, there's a little bit more every week. There's more ghouls coming here. Eventually, we'll have this thing just completely taken over, and you won't even see me. Just like me and the cat right here. If you haven't been on Patreon, I dropped some of the Caesar setup pics on there, and that's pretty much it. Have a wonderful week. Don't be a dick to each other, and enjoy Halloween. This is fun. This is fun times, man. Oktoberfest it up, and fuck me in a bucket of goo. Let's see, where is that? Get yourself some rose red action right now, right? This is Amish Comic and Mrs. Comic and Caesar, the fun cat running around here.